All right. Let's see. Good morning, everybody. What do we have here? Good morning, Jen. Good morning, Tit. Timothy Flanagan is back. The cool name.
I'm gonna put Timmy on blast here. Found out he doesn't like bubble tea, so I don't know how to feel about him anymore.
Oh my gosh. I have like this irrational fear of bubble tea that one day I'm like gonna just like suck up the bubble stuff too fast and I'm gonna die because I choke on bubble tea.
Oh, I mean, there is a legitimate concern with bubble tea that if you spend too much time like swallowing the bubbles, if you're not chewing them, because you're supposed to chew them, like
right,
if you're not chewing them, please chew the tapioca balls in your bubble tea. But they can sit in your stomach. It's like gum.
Oh my gosh. So I think we totally terrified my child about swallowing gum. And I'm not like a huge fan of her chewing gum because she's still like just almost 5. But you know, peer pressure is super fun these days. So she chews it, and like one time she swallowed it, and I mean it was like a 2-year-old tantrum meltdown. Like, I'm gonna die, it's never gonna come out, things are gonna get stuck, my whole belly's gonna be a bubble. I mean, every irrational fear you could have about gum in your stomach. It was hilarious. I was like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't have built that up to be such a big thing.
Tim must be feeling feisty this morning because he put in our Q&A, bubble tea is no good, please discuss.
I like bubble tea, Tim.
I will live and die by my bubble tea.
All right. Caitlin just says no. Oh, I love it. It's so great. Perfect. Let's give it maybe, still have people coming on. Maybe like 1 more minute and then we'll get going. I'm actually going to connect my phone and make sure that I'm set up here. It's about 90 degrees in this office right now. So if I start sweating, I apologize, you guys.
Nice.
Oh, I live vicariously through you. We're getting a cold wave right now.
Yeah.
My hubby's cold. He's got a headset on, so he has no idea that I'm telling you guys how hot it is in here. But he's on this medication that he's been on for like 1.5 years, and it makes him freezing. So if I start sweating because I'm 4.5 months pregnant, I apologize. I put on extra makeup. It's perfect. Only half of it will come off. All right. Okay, let's get started. Caitlin, you want to do the opener per usual, or do you want, is Brandy up this time?
Caitlin, take it away.
Thank you everyone so much for joining us for our webinar series. We've had a lot of fun hosting these, and we're super excited, of course, to bring back Allie and Megan from My Home and WFG National Title. They're part of one of our underwriters. We're super excited to be able to present this content, so we look forward to furthering our understanding of Instagram with you all. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat or Q&A, raise your hand, whatever works. You can always feel free to email us after as well, and I'll let Allie take it away.
Yeah, and if you have something that you really need to get deep in on, I can allow you to talk. You just got to let me know, hey, I need to explain this further. Do you mind if I, jump on and have more of a deep, extensive questions? Because I can do that as well in our participant chat. So today we are going to do part 2 of Instagram 101. And in Instagram part 1, we discussed just like the setup of our Instagram account. So today we're going to go a little bit deeper in the opportunities that Instagram provides us for posting. So we're going to talk about the different types of posting, what type of content should be in each of those spaces, where they make sense, and who they're presented to. Because in different aspects and different parts of your Instagram account, there's different types of people that are going to be able to view your content. So I'm going to share my wonderful Instagram screen. And again, I'm gonna preface this with whatever you see on my Instagram feed. Don't judge me. Because I have no idea. Sometimes it's midnight when I'm scrolling Instagram, so sometimes I like things that I probably shouldn't like. I have no idea. Okay, let's get going. Hopefully it starts sharing here. It says my screen share is loading, so it give me a second to get this going. But so one thing that I like to talk about when it comes to Instagram, especially in posting strategies is the type of leads that are on Instagram and a lead funnel. So when we talk about a lead funnel, or when we talk about marketing funnel, I always talk about something called AIDA, and it's attention, interest, desire, and action. Attention is top of the funnel leads. So those might be, for example, leads that, you know, you don't know these people, you're reaching out to them. This is attention is like a cold call kind of. And interest and desire is when you finally get their attention and they're just kind of consuming your information. And then action, the last one, is when they're ready to take action and they choose you because you've gotten their attention, you've maintained their interest, you've sparked their desire, and then they're ready to take action. And for some reason, this is not sharing, you guys. Hold on. Let me try it again. Trust. There we go. Hey, yo. Can you see my screen now?
Sure can.
I thought we were going downhill for a second, guys. I really did. Okay. So we are on my Instagram account here, and we went through all of these last 2 weeks ago. The last time we were on, we went through all the different types of posting. We went through the bio and all of those things. So give me a shout out in the Q&A and let me know that you guys have done your work in the last 2 weeks to get your profiles up and ready for posting content. Just let me know in the chat, but I'm going to move on. So first and foremost, I'm going to talk about the feed, which is this little home button here. I'm going to talk about this feed. Show me nudes. Interesting. You guys, there is a dog on Instagram. He's actually passed away at this point, but his name was Noodle. And he was a pug, and he was an elderly pug, and it was just such a wonderful thing. But he must have been an answer on Jeopardy. So his account owner was posting that. So show me nudes is not nudity, it's a dog. But okay, so right now I am in this home button here, okay? And I am in the feed. I'm in my own personal feed. My own personal feed consists of videos, reels, regular static posts, like this one with an image. This is actually a sponsored post, which you could tell by the learn more button down here. You can also see this sponsored information right here. This is just a static post of a picture from an article. If you're not following Logan, he's phenomenal for real estate. This is a reel, okay? So my feed consists of posts, carousels, reels. Everybody's feed consists of these things, okay? And when you're scrolling here, you're going to be thrown either sponsored content or content from places that maybe you follow, and you're also going to be thrown content from places that you don't follow. And this is kind of like your discovery feed, where you can scroll through and see pretty much what's going on with your followers and other people, okay? Now, to post in other people's feeds, we're just going to use this middle button down here. Okay, that plus button at the bottom, I'm going to show you again, this plus button at the bottom is where you're going to go if you want to post a story, a post, a reel, or go live. Okay, post is just going to be a static post. So something like that is a static post that will go in my feed, okay, in my own personal feed, but it will also go in any of my followers' feeds. Okay. As far as the post goes, if you have like a Canva account, there's a couple of different sizes that you can really use for posting on Instagram. There's 1080 pixels by 1080 pixels, but then there's another larger size that you can actually use to make your posts a little bit bigger, so it kind of covers more of the screen and it's less distracting to other people's posts. So we can go through those. Actually, Caitlin, that might be a good thing to send out afterwards, is the 2 different sizes that are really good for Instagram. One thing I want to stress is if you're creating content for Instagram and for Facebook, and you are sharing it on Facebook, or you're sharing it on Instagram and then also reposting it to Facebook, or the opposite way, you might notice that one of those platforms goes blurry, only because the actual sizes of the pictures on each one of these platforms are different. So although it might make sense to do cross posting, sometimes it doesn't work out in your favor for posting blurry content. And the hardest part about that is the algorithms on Facebook and Instagram know when it's blurry content. So we have to be super careful that we stay within the confines of what each platform wants to see as far as size of your photos, okay? I can post video in my feed as like a post if I wanted to, but that video content is really where Instagram wants to see you creating reels with video content versus just in your feed as a post, okay? You can still do it here, but I suggest it if you are posting any sort of video content to leverage the Reels platform. You're going to get more exposure to your clients and to more people outside of your clients as well. So posts in general are kind of where I would suggest, remember that funnel that we talked about, the AIDA? Posts are more in that I and D area. So interest, indecision, or interest and desire. That's where your posts are, where we're going to build trust, where we're going to build our reputation, where we're going to develop into a thought leader. Because the majority of people that see our posts are going to be people that likely already follow us, okay? So I'm going to say that again. Posts are going to hit in that middle of the road category of lead generation, people who already know, love, and trust us. Maybe they follow us, but we don't know them personally yet. Maybe they follow us because we have met them 1 or 2 times before, or maybe they follow us because they're family, friends, or past clients. Either way, these people have found value in some sort of information you've already shared online. They've followed you, so they're likely seeing your post, okay? So that's like middle of the funnel. That would be comparative to if you made a cold call for a new listing that you wanted to take, or a cold call for a listing presentation that you wanted to make, and you got to a place where you were in the middle, maybe going back and forth on home values, you were having conversations about timelines, all of those things that happen in the middle of converting a lead is kind of where your posts exist. Does that make sense? Perfect. Okay. And like I said, you can post single images here. If you wanted to do a video here, you could. One of the other things I really like posting for, and one of the things that Instagram really values, is something called carousels. And carousels are a combination of photos that people can scroll through to either get more information or to see multitude of photos. And to create a carousel, you're going to actually look down here at this multi-image posting opportunity. So if I click on this, what's going to happen, I don't know if you guys saw that. So when I clicked here, these little bubbles pop up, okay? And what I can do is select multiple pictures to share in one post. So let's say I wanted to share this. I wanted to share, I'm trying to think of other just static images that I can post. I wanted to share this. These are all obviously things I would not share. And I wanted to share the elf. Super fun, right? So I've posted, now I have selected 4 photos that people can scroll through to access information. So think about, I'm going to give you guys an example. How many of you have seen Universal's like class list, right? Where they're sending you everything that they are putting on for the next few weeks or few months. So that's an opportunity where Caitlin could take, you know, an image of like Universal Settlements, like University or whatever they call their little, or their education platform, and maybe it's a cover, and then every single slide is a different class that they're hosting with date and time. And the reason I like that better than one single picture is because, one, you can get your text bigger. it allows you to have text bigger and more readable, because most of the time we're reading on our phones and it's really hard to read a lot of information on one single picture. So this allows you to kind of make your text bigger, take up the entire space, and really kind of focus in on what you want to focus in on. For example, on the agent side for you guys, let's say you're sharing things every single week on what to do around town that weekend. Instead of putting that all on one page, you could separate that into 10 different pages and have a feature for each and every single event. You could also do it for your featured neighborhoods. If you have multiple listings, you could do listing features on each one of your posts. If you're hosting multiple open houses in a weekend, that would be something that you could carousel to promote your multiple open houses. But I love carousel posts because it allows you to kind of simplify the content in that one image and then have people scroll. One of the big tactics that I really like, just to kind of remind people that the carousel is taking place, is to have, when you're creating your image, have like an arrow either here or there, putting an arrow there, just reminding people, hey, there's more to the right. Because sometimes those little bubbles that tell us, we can scroll to the right. Sometimes we miss those. But this is just a great way to just remind people, hey, if you scroll, you'll see more opportunities as you scroll through to the other photos. I love how these progressively get more chaotic. It's like, oh, that's nice. Oh, what? Huh? I love it. So a carousel is just multiple photos that you can post at one time. And I love this opportunity because it allows you to share a lot of content in one post, but still in such a way that it's easy to consume. It's relevant, and you don't have to put a ton of text on one photo, because I will tell you right now, I see people posting one photo with a ton of text and nobody's reading it because they can't. I'm almost 40 and I've been blind since I was like 14, literally. Even with glasses on or contacts in, I can still barely see anything. So I'm going to scroll right past those things. So if we can take the content, just make it easier to consume, easier to read, that would be huge. Inside of this editor, you can also change, colors, all of these wonderful things if you'd like. You don't have to. I usually try to keep it normal, because if I'm going to edit a slide, I'm probably going to do it when I'm designing it instead. And then I hit next. Okay. In this post, this is going to happen on every single post, regardless of whether or not it is a carousel or just a one photo or even a video. Okay, we get to this post. So at the top here is where you're going to write your caption. You're going to explain what you're talking about in these photos or in this one photo or in this video. Okay, you're going to, and I think the last time we chatted a little bit about captions. So instead of writing a really long paragraph, because we have very short attention spans, see if you can, if you do have a lot to write, separate that into maybe 3 sentences at a time, and then go on to the next paragraph, or separate things with bullet points or emojis or whatever it is. It keeps people's attention and it'll allow them to consume this information that a way is entertaining for people's brains. And that's what we kind of crave right now. Okay. For the tag people, I love this part. So when you hit tag, that tag button right here, it's going to automatically bring up, it's going to automatically bring up the photos that I can add tags to. So if I was going to tag this photo right here, I would likely tag Simon Sinek. So I would do Simon, and he will probably come up because he's one of my favorite people ever. So I have tagged Simon in that. So we'll let Simon know that I'm utilizing his information. I like to tag people to give them credit for the things that they say and do. For example, if you are tagging things to do this weekend in XYZ town, it's a great opportunity to either tag the host of that event. If the event even has an Instagram account, you can tag that, or maybe you tag the area that they're hosting it at. There's a lot of times where I'll get something that I really love at like a farmer's market. That farmer's market is likely on Instagram. I could easily tag the farmer's market as well as tag the business. So you can have multiple tags here. You would just click that add tag, And let's say I wanted to tag my boss. I could easily tag my boss on that photo as well. Okay. And I'm wondering, like, I tag my boss here. Like, if I tag my boss on this, I'll be like, is this a good thing or a bad thing? Right. It's a good thing. But that's how you add a tag. Okay. I would stay away from the invite collaborator. It is a little bit confusing. Stick with the basics for now. We can go into the collaborator information later. I think it's really important that we tag, especially as real estate agents. Tagging is incredibly important because it allows us to get some more visibility from other people's databases and followers that we might not get just on our own. Yeah, Caitlin.
I just want to mention, this is a great thing that you should utilize if you're posting closing photos. Tag not only the people that you're closing with, because hopefully by that point you've developed a relationship with them that, you know, you're following each other on Instagram, but also, heck, tag the title company, tag the lender, tag the listing agent, tag as many people as you think would be valuable, because then it does show up as well on their Instagram. Totally. In their tag Absolutely. Section. So you're reaching their market. And we'll probably get into that, but I just want to mention tagging is so useful, guys. For sure.
Absolutely. Like I said, it gets the likelihood of, you know, some of these restaurants or events sharing your information is super high, and it'll get your name out there to people that you wouldn't normally be able to get in front of, or just haven't yet. So tag products, I'm going to leave that one alone today because I don't think it's super necessary unless you're talking about a product that like makes your business better, or a product that you think homeowners should use. That would be something that you could use there and just say, hey, here's a great like hack for you know, plumbing or whatever it is. You can easily tag products as long as they actually have a page, all of those things. And that tag goes the same way really as the way you tag people. You can add a message button to your post if you'd like. Obviously, I only have one place for people to send me messages, so it's fine if I want to add that message button. I can also remove that message button just by the X. If I wanted to add a reminder, this would be great to add to something like a class invite or a class or like an event that you're having. This is a great thing to add. It's just a reminder for people to see the event title and time. They can get a reminder before the event starts. I've done this on a couple of things that I know that are going live on Instagram that I want to be a part of. Maybe I have it on Zoom, but I just want to get a reminder that I also have it live on Instagram if I want to access it there. Location is huge. So let's say you are posting something from like a closing, like Caitlin just said. You can tag your title company, tag your lender, tag your home inspector, tag all of these people. But when it comes to the location, maybe don't location tag where the closing is. Maybe location tag where the house is. I think that's really important to say, you know, we give kind of a window into the places that we're working. So I think the location is really important. So just be very, you know, on alert when you're talking about locations and tagging people in businesses, because I think these are the three most important places to add more value and information to get more visibility. Okay. Boost post is if we want to run our post as an ad. I don't normally suggest boosting posts just because it's not the most effective way to get visibility. You can if you want. I do see a lot of realtors boosting their posts when it comes to open house opportunities or new listings right now, just because the average days on market has gone up. So this is an opportunity. If you do want to get more visibility, you can add that boost to your post if you'd like. When you click this, it's going to automatically, once you hit like share, it's going to automatically bring up your ad settings, and you can adjust your ad settings from there. I'm going to turn that off because we don't need to boost this post because it is a weird post and I will not be sharing it. That's okay. You can add a fundraiser to it if you're part of some form of philanthropy. You can always, you know, if you're trying to raise money for something or a local company that you want to raise money for, you can easily do anything like that. This is just a great way. You'll see, so Cavalier Rescue AZ, Ryan House AZ, Local First AZ, I was a part of a lot of Arizona, as I came from Arizona, a lot of Arizona charitable organizations. So those are why those are coming up. So if you are part of something locally, this would be a great place to share information on the nonprofits that you support. This is the share to Facebook button. So because it's a post and it's not necessarily the perfect size for Facebook, I'm likely going to turn that off. I could share it and that's totally fine. Sometimes I do. If it's just like a picture, like a normal picture, I'll share it. But if it's literally perfectly sized for Instagram, I might take the time to actually share it to Instagram and Facebook separately. Okay. If you have a Twitter, you can share there. If you have a Tumblr, you can share there. And then I went into advanced settings, which is right here at the bottom. You can schedule the post out, which is awesome. So let's say it's 2 a.m. and you're building content, but you don't want it to go live right now. You can schedule it out for a different time. And once you hit that, it'll pop that up. You can hide and hide your like and view counts on the post. So if you don't want people to see the total number of likes and views that it gets, you can hide that. If you are posting something controversial, which I try to suggest never as a real estate agent to do, but if you are, maybe turn off commenting. You can do that. Or if you really want people to comment, go for it. All good. Just know that you might separate out some people that you won't be able to work with. But I always try to steer real estate agents away from controversial information. This is share my post to Facebook, so I can actually turn that off. Or if I really wanted it to be on, I can decide if I want to just share it to myself, my friends, or the public, which are 3 settings that I have on my Facebook page. Accessibility. Accessibility is such a huge conversation. It's going to become more important as we move through the next 2, 5, 10 years. A lot of people are becoming more aware of the fact that the diversity of our workforce and the diversity of our consumers is changing. We're becoming more aware of disability and opportunity and diversity and inclusion and all these different things. So alt text gives people that might have a disability in hearing or reading, seeing, the ability to understand what your post is about without actually having to physically read it or see it or even hear it. So when we write an alt text, essentially it's telling people what that post is about or what they might be seeing or reading. So this one, I might say it's a quote from Simon Sinek. And I can't spell. And then I'll just put the quote in there, right? Or like if Caitlin was posting about a class, she could easily say, this is a class for real estate agents and the topic will be XYZ. It's just a great way to get more traction, especially like I have 2 friends that wear hearing aids. They're not completely deaf, but this stuff helps them as far as translating certain things, especially if they're, working out or they're not crazy paying attention. It just helps them understand what things are about a little bit easier without having to either listen in or read if they do struggle with those places. And then paid partnerships and brand partnerships. I'm not going to touch on that right now. I don't think that's super relevant to what we're talking about today. And I'm already at 10:30, but if you guys are okay, I'd like to go over on posting stories and reels if we can do that. Is that okay? Okay, cool. I knew it was going to take a little bit longer just because there's so many ins and outs of this. So again, let's talk about how we access this space. So if I'm in my feed right now, which is this fun home button, I'm going to go to that center button here, and I'm going to go to the next one over, which is a story. Okay. Stories live at the top of your Instagram page. They are these wonderful little bubbles right up here. Okay. Stories are what I would call behind the scenes, or what I would call in the moment. These are also great ways to just build relationships with the people that already follow you. These are deeper relationships. These are personal relationships. If I go in here and look at my stories, these are what people are doing day to day, the meetings they're having, the fun things they're doing, like maybe riding a roller coaster with their kid, or just talking about whatever it is that's happening. I see a lot of real estate agents that kind of go through, hey, this is what's on the schedule for today. This is what we're doing, or whatever it is. And then they might go in more depth in their posts of one of those specific pieces. Okay. But stories were created and are really created for the people that already know, love, and trust you. So it's just more of a way to connect on a personal level. Stories are a lot of times how you're going to get a lot more DMs and interaction. Okay. If I hit Logan, so Logan is an analyst for Housing Wire, and he does a lot of this type of stuff. You can't hear him, but I don't think you can hear him. Can you hear him? No. Okay, good. So Logan is an analyst for Housing Wire. He's the lead analyst for Housing Wire. Housing Wire is this huge company, but he explains in such simple terms every single day in his stories what he means by his posts, by his graphs, by his podcasts. So he just goes into more depth of what's happening, and you can see he's sharing these graphs, and he's just able to bring more personality and more understanding based on his facial features, based on his tone of voice, all of these things, and he's building relationships. Logan and I talk weekly through DM, which is awesome because I think he's like a superstar in my mind. He just knows all of these wonderful things, and the fact that we're able to connect and I'm able to ask him more in-depth questions is really great. So that's what stories were made for. Okay, so this is a great opportunity for you to share what's going on in your day-to-day, you know, and fun things that you do, or maybe to share your personality, some jokes or whatever. I share a lot of information on my kids or on my kid and what she's doing. Sometimes I'll share quotes from my child because she has a tendency to say the weirdest things. Brandy knows, Brandy gets it. We both have kids the same, roughly around the same age, and could say the darndest things. So, but stories are a phenomenal way to really go deeper with our clients. So the way to do stories, there you go, is it's just face first. Okay. This button right here, this white button right here is how you're going to record. Okay. And we have to hold it down to record. You don't always have to hold it down if you need something to be hands-free. I click this wonderful arrow button right here, and it'll give you options. So it'll give me options to do a hands-free. If I didn't want to hold that button down, it's just going to run that recording as long as it'll go. Okay. So if I wanted to record, I can click this middle button right here. Okay. And I can record whatever I need to record inside this story. The cool thing about this button is it does more than just record. If I wanted to zoom in on my face, I take that button and I just pull it up, right? You guys want to see how much makeup I'm wearing today? Great. But if you're wondering how people zoom in and zoom out, it's me just literally holding my finger down on that button. So on this white button, and moving it up and down. Okay. Well, it didn't really blend very well today. And then the cool part about it is, like, let's say you want to add a filter or you want to add a green screen. And I think we talked a little bit about the green screen last week. You can do that. All of your filters are going to be down here. These are all of my added filters. If I really want to go in and find a filter that I really want to use, I could go in here and search for different filters. Or I can just search for filters in Reels too. But anytime you search for filters and save the filter, it'll be in your Reels and it'll be in your stories. I will say this, most people don't love filter. Like, I love filters. Like, look at this. I didn't even have to wear makeup today, you guys. Look fabulous. But filters really kind of take away from the reality of the world that we live in, and people really want to see the reality of the world we live in, especially on stories, because that's our day-to-day. That's building trust, that's going deeper, all of those wonderful things. Okay, stories only exist for 24 hours. So whatever you put there in that story, it's only going to be there for 24 hours. I'm going to just talk to the screen. These other wonderful things on this right-hand side. So you can choose like a layout. So if I wanted to if I wanted to, hold on. Okay. If I wanted to do like a boomerang, you guys know what a boomerang is. If you've seen those like cheers of glasses, you could easily choose a boomerang. Ooh. And that's going to boomerang you. Okay. These are just fun ways to play around. It's a great way to keep attention with certain things. If I wanted to create a story inside of, like, this is the create button. These are really fun. I could, you know, make a happy birthday Simon Sinek post if I wanted to. These are just really fun ways to create different things. But I honestly think that the best part about stories are not in the creation of those specific things. The best part about stories are just in the face-first opportunity we have day to day talking like this. Okay. If you can open up your phone a couple of times a day and let people know what's going on, or a crazy thing that just happened, or a really cool restaurant that you had great service at, like, this is such an opportunity to just get face to face and go deeper with the people that already follow you. You can play with these other things on the right hand side, but I don't think they're necessary. I'd say keep your stories simple and just share. Okay. I'm going to go back to Reels, and I'm going to touch on Reels. I'm not going to touch on Live today because we can go further into that, but Reels are the most important thing that are happening on not just Instagram, but just across the interwebs right now. Short form video is creating a wave. It already has created a wave. It's the #1 way people are sharing content anymore. And Reels are such an opportunity to get more visibility. So when we talked about the attention, interest, desire, and action, as far as lead generation goes, Reels are the #1 way that we grab attention from people that do not know, love, and trust us already. And I want to show you what that means. So if I go into my analytics dashboard and I look at who's engaged with my content, hold on, let me go back to Reels. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to load. What is happening is there's more Reels showing up in that original feed that I showed you guys earlier. Then there's more Reels being thrown out to new people than just traditional posts being thrown to my following. So where you see 206 and 800, so 842 of my followers saw this, but 206 of my non-followers saw this reel. 842. So 25% of the people that saw this reel were people who weren't following me, which is a huge opportunity. And that white little spot here, this is the biggest it's ever going to be. Very rarely does a post, a carousel, or any other type of information that you're sharing show up in such a place that you're getting 25% or more of the people that you're reaching with that being non-followers. So if you guys want to grow your Instagram following, I highly suggest doing Reels. Okay, you can dive more deep into like who's doing it, who's following it, what type of interaction that they've given. But Reels is such a great opportunity. If you want to grow your audience, this is the space to do it in. Okay. And Reels editor on this right-hand side here is pretty similar to the stories editor. You just have a little bit more opportunity. So you can add audio here. So if I wanted to add audio, I can search music. This is audio that is creators. So I'm a creator account. So this is all of the different licensed audios. If you're a business account, it's not going to look like this. You're going to have more of like elevator music type opportunities. If I really wanted to save a couple of songs that I really liked, I could go in here and, whoops, sorry guys. If I wanted to save a song, I can maybe save it for later because I really liked it, or maybe I heard it on the radio and it just reminded me of something that I wanted to post for real estate. You can go in here, you can search it. When you find it, you can pull it over and you can hit save for later. So that way, when you come back in here, all of the all of the music that you've ever wanted to use for any of your reels is saved right here. Okay, that's in your music. You can add music ahead of time before you record your reel, or you can add music after the fact, totally fine. If I wanted to choose my filters, this kind of just goes more in depth with the filters that are available down here as well. I could search for a filter. So if I wanted to do that green screen again, I could totally do the green screen and choose that. Okay. Oh, great. I just got right out of my reel. Okay, so there's ways to choose effects if you'd like to choose effects, or choose filters if you want to choose filters. Totally fine. You can go in here and look at what's trending. You can, let's see what this one is. Oh, lovely. My daughter would like that one. So those are the ways to select effects ahead of time. If I wanted to get engagement from people like resharing, this arrow button right here is a like people are creating a way to like share a photo that they like when you first met your dog versus now. Like I would click that, it'll show up on my screen, and then I can share an old photo of me when I met my dog and then me versus now. Nobody wants to see that information anyways. This button here is the timer button, so I can choose whether or not I want to do a 15-second reel, a 30-second reel, a 60-second reel, or a 90-second reel. I usually try to default to 60 or 90 seconds because let's say it's only a 30-second reel, that's totally fine, but you don't want to go over by 1 or 2 seconds and completely ruin your reel. So I always choose more than I need, and then when I post it, it's just going to be whatever length it needs to be. So I always try to either go 60 or 90 seconds. Just makes sense. This button here is your timer. So if I wanted to slow something down or speed something up, I could easily do that. This would be great. I don't know if you guys have ever seen like the reels. Like I follow a lot of moms that'll give you like cleaning strategies and stuff like that, where they'll show you, you know, what they do and they speed up the video. So this is a great way to do that. I've also seen interior decorators do it when they're decorating shelves. It's just like a fun way to show how they put like a fun decoration thing together. This timer button is awesome. So if I knew exactly how long I wanted my reel to be, and I didn't want it to be 60 seconds, but I wanted it to be 47 seconds, I could easily do that in here. So let's say 47.6 is very exact. And then I can also use this countdown as a timer before the actual video starts. So if I need to set my phone down and move backwards or move away from it or get in position, I can use this countdown to get ready. So when I do hit the middle button right here, it's going to count down for me before it's, oh, maybe it's not. I don't think I hit it. Set timer. I don't know why it's not doing that. Set timer. There we go. So then it'll give me the opportunity to get in position, if maybe take a breath. This is even if you are not moving back from a video, like when you're recording a reel, even if you're not moving away from the video, I would say at least take that 3-second countdown, take a deep breath, let it out, and then start recording. It's super helpful for reels just to kind of get ready, to get yourself settled, and then move forward with the reel. And then I'm going to move to the next screen so I can show you what that looks like as far as setting up the rest of the reel. And then we'll be done. Can you guys hear me still? No, I didn't think so. Can you hear me now? Okay, cool. On the previous screen, all I could hear was the recording. So you can still edit on that other end. It's just like a secondary editor. If you follow the prompts at the top, it'll allow you to edit and add music there. You can add text there like you do in stories. It's actually pretty self-explanatory because all of those buttons are in your stories. If I wanted to add, I'll go back and I'll show you how I add captions. So all of those buttons up top in that editor will allow you to either add captions, questions. If you wanted to add stickers, that's totally fine. If you wanted to add a link for a link button, it's just hard for me to show you because you won't be able to hear me. But all of those editing buttons at the top in that space are exactly the same as your editor inside of stories. So you should be able to adjust those there. The only thing that's different, and Caitlin, you might have to help people, is if you have music on, but you're also talking, you would need to edit one of those sounds to make sure that we can hear, okay? That, and then you can also trim your videos. So let's say you recorded in separate spaces. Let's say you recorded in like 3 different videos and you wanted to trim them down. At the bottom, you can also take those specific, like let's say 3 videos and trim them down. It's hard for me to show that here on this just because you won't be able to hear me talk. So me showing you that is probably going to be a little bit difficult today. So if you are editing your reels, you need to shorten your videos or you need to change your sound. Just get with Caitlin. She knows how to do that, right? Yeah, she knows how to do that. She knows how to do everything. She's wonderful. And then when you get to this space, you're going to write your caption. So your caption is right here, and that's the same way that we would write a caption on a post. Okay. If you want to share it to your feed, which I always suggest sharing things to your feed, especially your reels to your feed. If you want to tag people, tag products, add that message button. If you want to add topics, this is a great way to syndicate to Instagram to just let them know what your reel is about. Let your viewers know what your reel is about. You can scroll down here and we can look at, let's see, maybe your reel is about food and drink, visual arts, travel, sports, science, technology. Maybe your reel is about home furnishings or home and garden hacks or interior design. You know, there's a lot of things, or maybe even entrepreneurship. That would be a really good one. Or it's a small business, small local business. That would be great to choose. It just helps Instagram syndicate who this topic is for. Because I didn't add any music, this audio file is going to be my original audio file. If I want to rename it, I can easily rename my audio file, right? So I can say Allie IG hacks. And then now that audio file is named Allie IG hacks. There's not really any crazy reason to rename it other than it maybe you're giving like, maybe you're doing like, maybe you rename yours like whatever your name is, and then it's like buyer tips or something like that. Totally fine. And then you can do everything on here that you can do on a traditional post. You can add your location, add your fundraiser, recommend on Facebook, you know, do your advanced settings as far as seeing and scheduling the reel, hiding the like count, all of those wonderful things. It stinks that it's not letting me show you how to edit. Maybe I will delete this and just do a still photo and see if you can hear me with that. Can you hear me? Okay, good. Okay, you guys can hear me on this one. You just couldn't hear me on the last one because I was speaking. So I don't like sharing it like this because this obviously isn't a video, but I'm going to share it like this anyways. So let's say this was a video of me talking, but I also wanted to add some background music to it. I could easily do that. So I'm going to add sunroof. Hold on. I lied. I'm not going to do that because you guys can't hear me because all I can hear is the music. So as far as editing your reel, you're going to have to do that one-to-one with Caitlin. Caitlin, that actually might be a good thing for you to do like a workshop on, is like once you have the recording, maybe everybody's recording. The best part about a reel is you can save it in your drafts before you even edit it. So if you come in and you say, Caitlin, I have 10 drafts saved. I need help with editing, adding music. making my captions, my hashtags. She can definitely help with leading you through that. This is just really difficult on Zoom because I can't edit it without and show you like the music stuff without you not being able to hear me. So just in conclusion, I want you guys to remember attention, interest, desire, action. This is just a straight sales and marketing funnel, no matter what you're doing. Attention, if you want to get more attention on Instagram. So if you want to get more attention on Instagram, Reels. If you want to go deeper with your followers and potential new people, or maybe people that you don't know are following you, but they want to learn more, interest and desire, those middle of the funnel leads are going to be posts, carousels, even stories. And then your actionable people, those will be obviously people in your DMs, people clicking links. But one of the best ways to get that actionable conversation happening is definitely in your stories. So attention is Reels, middle, interest and desire is your posts, your carousels, all of those wonderful things. And then the action button is likely because you're building great relationships in your stories. Does that make sense? Cool. Any questions? No, we good. Awesome. Well, I know next month we are going to be covering Google Business. So Google Business profiles, a lot has changed on Google Business. We'll have a part 1 and part 2. So definitely come out, because Google Business is one of the best ways to get free leads, which everybody loves the term free and everybody loves the term leads. So free leads, and you don't really have to do much. It's actually pretty simple to navigate. It's just staying consistent and making sure that your information is out there, and requesting reviews. So we will see you guys in 2 weeks to discuss those Google Business opportunities. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful week. It's not crazy rainy like it is here. And
Snowing.
It's bad. It's snowing.
it's snowing. Oh my gosh, it's not. It's like raining and cold. Even my dogs turned around this morning. They're like, absolutely not. But I hope this was helpful. It's hard to go over everything just because it is so much. It's such a huge platform, but it's also why I love it, because there's so much opportunity here. So I think if you just keep in mind what your goals are on the platform, whether it's getting more followers, getting more leads, then we can work through a real strategy. If you're really just wanting to go deeper with people that you follow currently, then we can talk more about posts, carousels, and stories.
Sounds good. Thank you so
Sounds
much.
good. Yeah, absolutely. It was great to see you, ladies, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Sounds good. See ya.
Have a good one.